Uh, all right, our focus of optimism. Let's close our eyes and start to notice our breath. Optimism is a state of positivity, hopefulness, and anticipation of future successes. Practicing optimism involves recognizing what is good, right, just, and beautiful around us. It allows us to see possibilities everywhere. By contrast, a state of pessimism involves a tendency to see bad and negative sides of people and things around us. Pessimists might see obstacles when optimists see opportunity. And our yoga practice represents optimism by helping us to continue recognizing the little successes and progressions towards expressing the full version of an asana or a pose and strengthening of our mindfulness practice. A state of optimism also creates a positive atmosphere for all students, and it will encourage growth and inspire future goals for us and our practice today. So let's get started. Big breath up, inhale. Exhale, bring our hands down to our sides. Flowing through your seated mountain, just starting to warm up the sides of your body and connecting with your breath through your movement, or connecting through your movement through your breath. Matching our breath, one breath to one move. Setting an intention today to be optimistic. Through our practice in the harder poses, to be optimistic, focusing on progression. Let's start our tip over to one side, looking under one elbow and all the way up over to the other side. Closing our eyes if it feels okay as we continue to move through, flexing our spine side to side and lengthening it each and every time we come up to the top of our movement. We'll start our twist now. We'll inhale, open our wings, exhale, twisting over to one side. Inhale, opening, exhaling over to the other side. Side to side, all on your own, letting go of competition today. With ourselves, our former selves, or anyone else. Two, couple more. And let's put it all together. Inhale, sweep both of our arms up. Exhale, tip over to your left. Inhaling back up, exhaling over to the other side. Inhale, opening, twisting over to one side. Opening and twisting to the other side. Hands will come back behind us. We'll open up across our hearts. And exhale, forward fold. Let's do it again. Inhale, sweep up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, sweep again, this time tipping over to your right. All the way up, over to the other side, just warming up our spine. Let's twist over to your right. All the way over to your left. Hands come back behind us, we'll open up. And a little humble bow down towards the earth. Wonderful, let's bring ourselves into all fours for our cat and cow. We'll warm up our hips. Let's do cat and cow today with one foot out. Maybe the right foot first. Pressing down into the mat with our hands. Exhaling, rolling into cat pose. Inhaling into cow. Noticing where our leg meets our pelvis. Our pelvis tucking under slightly and then turning up a little bit. Breathe. Dedicating our practice today to focusing on optimism. Last one on this side. And we'll move to the other side. You can take your fists for wrist if you want to as we move through our cat and cow with our leg out on this side. And also have your forearms on top of blocks. Setting our intentions to be optimistic today. Last one. We'll take it back to child's pose. unless you would prefer to move up into downward facing dog before that. If we're choosing child's pose, massaging our forehead down on the mat. If we're floated up into downward facing dog, pedaling our feet, but still allowing our head to be relatively heavy, letting the neck stretch. Breathing, feeling, making sure to listen to our body today throughout our entire practice. Coming back up to all fours on an inhale. We'll exhale, settle into a nice strong tabletop, drawing the navel up towards the spine. And let's move through our spinal balance. Right arm forward, left foot back, and we bring it back down. Find your breath, inhaling, lengthening, exhaling down. Quieting our minds today. Letting go of any thoughts that don't serve you in a good way. I'll be sure to weave in some wonderfully cheesy quotes throughout our practice today and affirmations as well. One more spinal balance. And again, back to child's pose or moving up into downward facing dog. Warming up, seeing how we're doing basically at the beginning of our practice. Just checking in without judgment to our amazing bodies. Optimistic for the rest of our practice. Let's inhale into a plank, full or kneeling. Exhale down to the belly or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Either back to your belly or right back to downward dog. Take your time. We'll flow through that half series a few more times, all on your own, or staying with me. We inhale to a plank, up dog or cobra. Either go back to the belly or take your time and move to child's pose. Closing your eyes, letting go of all that surround you and bringing your focus within. Hope and love surround me. You can repeat that to yourself in your mind. Last one. Finishing off where you are, leaning back in child's pose or in downward facing dog. Finding a breath or two there. Bringing our left foot up between the hands. Take your time getting there. We'll rise up into a full or kneeling lunge on an inhale. Sinking into the support of our legs. Doing a nice strong back quadricep. If it's possible, our back heel is high. Really warm up our hips for bird of paradise later on. That's our peak pose. Ooh, there's 3 different versions. We'll be good. I'm gonna do somewhere in the middle. Let's take that heel down and actually open up into a nice wide stance and hinge forward. You can make some small movements with your hips if you want to, just kind of moving around here. We'll walk our hands all the way to the back of our mat, turning your opposite toe towards the back of the room, lifting your foot and rising into a lunge on this side. So you're facing away from me most likely. Breathe. Settle in to the strength of your own body. Hope and love surrounding me. Let's drop that back heel down, straighten out our legs again. Go back down into our wide leg straddle splits. Breathe. We'll come about halfway up, walk our feet in slightly. They're still wider than our hips though, and sit down into a malasana or a wide squat. And some twists side to side, reaching right arm up. And then the other side. Just flowing through We'll do this a little bit later as well. We'll see the difference in the warmth of our hips. Last one. Go all the way back up, turn our toes towards the front edge of the room again. And we'll end up in our forward fold to start to flow through some halfway lifts. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, flowing up, exhale down. A few more, close your eyes. Breathe, feel, listen. I am prepared for any challenge. Let's add that into our affirmations for today's practice. Any challenge. Last one, holding in our halfway lift and finding the breath here. You can bring your hands behind your knees if that feels a little bit better. And then really draw the head forward as you're holding onto your legs, working towards straightening out our arms. Let's bend those knees, bring our hands to our heart. We come into a chair pose. Flowing, inhaling up. Exhaling back into our chair. Let's flow through that chair. Pressing into both of our feet, shifting the hips back. Honoring your breath today. Really listen. Optimism flowing through us throughout our practice. One or two more of these. And we'll meet up in an extended mountain, reaching up towards the sky. Breathe. If it feels better for you, or if you want to try moving up onto the toes, find a place to focus the gaze. And then we'll bring it back down. Bring the hands back behind us. Open up for our chest expansion. Big breath in. You can stay here or move into a forward fold. Whatever works. So you're there for a few more breaths. There's a little bend in our knees when we're forward folding. Let's release those hands, sweep it all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, bring our hands to our sides. We'll step our left foot back, turn to the windows if we're in studio, if you're at home, or whatever you end up turning to move into our moonflowers. Right up, inhale. Exhale, hinge back down. Inhaling up, exhaling, bending our elbows and our knees. Let's warm up our major muscles and joints. So important to keep moving. Focusing and setting an intention today of optimism in whatever pose we are. Breathe. One more. We'll turn it into our sunflowers, hinging and sweeping to the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. We're still bending our knees when we reach towards the mat, and the hips are still going slightly back. Amazing. Last one. Holding in our nice wide squat again. So more like a goddess pose. Let's keep our chest up. Breathe. Hands will come to our hips, our knees. And we'll take the left shoulder towards the right side of our mat as we push into the leg. So we're pushing into your knee with your hand and we're dropping our shoulder down. Breathe. Pelvic floor is strong, steady, stable. And bring it back all the way to the other side. Push into the leg. Breathe. Bringing it back to center. We'll rise up with a strong core, tick-tock our feet back together. Step up to the tops of our mats. Big breath up. halfway into our airplane. Inhale back up, flowing through your airplane. The hips are going back just a little bit. We're wide across our hearts. Slowing it down to match our exhale, 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 pause. Quieting our mind. We'll meet back in our extended mountain, grabbing a hold of our right hand, tipping over to your left. Or bring that foot back and touch the back of your heel, or wrap it all the way around. It's a nice IT band stretch. Breathe. Check in with your ribs. So we're opening up that side of the body, pressing firmly down into our right foot as we extend our right arm. And release, other side, big breath up. Grab a hold of the hand so we stretch the wrist and settle into wherever you want your feet to be. Tipping over. Optimism. Focusing on progression. And release. Good job. Let's roll those shoulders around a little bit. Woo! We'll get into our practice. If you want a fan, there's fans all around you. If you want to turn one on, you can. Good. Mary, if you're hot at home, please do turn the fan on. Open up a window. And we'll get on to our sun salutations. Focusing on our optimism. All right, let's see what kind of song we get. So we'll do, come up to the tops of our mats, find some space between our feet. So we're setting the weight of our entire body down into both of our feet, softening our knees, opening up into mountain pose. So we're wide across the chest, our fingertips reaching down, the top of our head reaching up. Feel the navel come in towards the spine, the obliques come in from the sides, the pelvic floor holding and supporting you. Well, let's flow. Big breath up. Inhale. Exhale, diving into a full fold. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Bending our knees, taking our right foot back. Knee up or down, finding your lunge. Inhaling on a slow inhale. And taking an exhale all the way to down dog or child's pose. Holding here, or let's flow through our half series. Inhale forward, halfway or all the way down. Up dog or cobra, other back to your belly, and then down dog or child's pose. If you beat me to down dog, great. Just take a breath. And we'll bring the left foot up between the hands. Making sure the knee is safe, we rise up. And exhaling to forward fold. Space between the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders go away from the ears. Exhale, fold again. Sweep it up, press into the feet. Exhale to chair. Choose where you want to have those arms. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to mountain. Let's do it again. Inhale, rise. Exhaling, diving. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time the left foot going back. Inhale to a nice high lunge or kneeling. Take your whole exhale to steps gently back to downward facing dog. Where we'll hold or flow. Forward, halfway, up dog or cobra. Belly. Child's pose and then down dog, or right up into down dog. You can wait for us or flow. We'll bring the right foot up between the hands. Take your time. Rise up into your lunge. Exhaling, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Folding, breathing out. Sweeping all the way up. Exhale to chair. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to our mountain pose. Let's do a few more or on your own. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Let's take that right foot back. Rise to lunge. Exhale to down dog or child's pose. Check in. Maybe it feels okay to let the eyes close as you fold through your half series this time. Median down dog, take your time. The left foot coming up between the hands. Rising up with a strong core and back. Exhaling to fold. Take your time. Rise to lift. Shoulders roll away. Strong belly comes in. Fold again. Sweeping to sky. Exhale to chair. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to mountain. We've got one more, maybe two. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift. Hold again, breathing out. This time our left foot going back. Rising to lunge. Down dog or child's pose. Holding or flowing. Even hold a plank if that's something that feels good for you. Take your time when we back in downward dog or child's pose, no rush. Right foot coming up between the hands, rising up to meet your lunge. And forward folding. Halfway lift. Folding again, exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale to chair. Wonderful job, back up. Exhale to mountain. All right, let's get on with our practice. Adjust your clothes here. And we'll move into a regular practice like we do, but we're gonna be throwing in bird of paradise as our peak pose. That the squat as well, with an option to go into crow. So anyone that wants to move into crow, you'll want to bolster for your face. So there's gonna be a few different options and a few different options for each option, right? And that's why we're throwing in like a couple extra ones today so that you can focus on progression, be optimistic and, you know, something to work towards. Yes.
Oh, wait, no, I'll watch.
Yeah, so there's tons of prep poses for it before you have to try to fly. And if anyone has already done crow or crane, we're gonna try to jump back to plank today or step back. Okay, optimism, that's our focus. But we'll start in chair. Coming down into our chair pose. Lifting up across the heart. Breathe. Choose where you want the hands to be. They could be by your sides, at your heart, reaching forward, up, any way you want them to be. Wherever you choose them to be, honor your back. Honor your breath. Reminding ourselves progression. Progress from the day before, the week before. Breathe. We'll be stepping our right foot back. Wonderful. Sinking down into our lunge. Breathe, hands will come up. And then we'll bring our hands into cactus arms. Cactusing, thinking about the warmth of summer. Settle in, hold the pose, find the breath. Quiet the mind. Bringing our right heel down onto the mat and our left elbow to our knee. We move into a side angle. Breathe. So just a warm up. Now we'll look down at that front foot, lift our back heel, step it back to downward dog. And bring the other foot up between the hands. Rise up into our lunge. Slowly progressing through this this flow into our lunge, cactus arms. So we're lifting our elbows somewhere around our shoulder height, reaching with them in opposite directions. A little bit of pressure or tension between the shoulder blades. Our left heel will go down, our right elbow to our right thigh, and we rise up into our side angle. So bringing our right foot forward on this one. Okay. Maybe I didn't have it on the first one. So for this one, now that you're in your side angle, we won't do bird of paradise yet. I just want you to practice turning your palm back and then placing the back of your hand on your back. And your other hand can stay right where it is, or you can bring it to the floor, turn the palm towards the back. So again, you keep that elbow up on your knee. Wonderful. Let's look at our front foot, lift our back heel, step back to downward dog. Great job. Let's flow through a vinyasa. Inhale forward into forward kneeling plank, halfway or all the way down. Hold or rest, of course. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog or child's pose. Okay, bringing the left foot up between the hands. Back heel down. We'll bring our left elbow to our left knee and open up our right hand so we come into our side angle on this side. Turning the palm back and trying to place the back of our hand on our backs. And sorry guys, you need to grab your strap if you're going to use it. It'll be in your right hand, your top hand. And we'll drop that strap. So long. Down back behind us. So it's in our back hand behind us. I'll just leave the camera view just for a second, and I'll come back just to show everyone who's here. Whoa, what we're going to do. So we're here, and we're reaching for the strap with the other hands. Unless you can bring your hands together. And if you can, great. How's everybody doing? Excellent. So your front knee is bent. So you can stay here. This is a first version, or bring your back foot up beside your front foot. That strap is kind of under our front leg. Oh. So not our back leg, your left leg. And then you can stay here as a prep pose with the chest open, or look at the front foot, look at your back foot and say, come on, back foot, come up beside the front foot. Wonderful. So now we place the weight onto your right foot and lift your left leg, holding the strap underneath your left leg, rising up into our version of bird of paradise. Yes. So you might have, if you're at home, maybe you did a full bind here. Once we get there, yes. Yes, 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 good job. Wonderful progression. And then one day we can work towards straightening this leg up. Okay, let's do it on the other side, bird of paradise. Got your straps, they're in your left hand this time. We're stepping our right foot back. I mean, yeah, no, left foot back. Sorry, girls. Left foot back. Yeah, left foot back. Right foot forward, bending your front knee, and this left hand will drop your strap back behind you. But you want the back of your hand to be on your back so that it wouldn't work the other way because it would hurt your shoulder. So you can stay right where you are. And now we try to reach for that strap and get our hands as close as we can on our strap. Holding on, it's underneath our right kind of side area.
On your back.
Yes, so here's like this, and then you can stay here or look at our front foot. We'll bring our back foot up kind of slightly behind our front foot. Then you work towards just lifting that front heel up so it comes on the toe, or pressing into that back foot so your left foot rising up, opening up. Bird of paradise, optimism. All right, let's release. Great job. Oh, that's a tough one, I know. It's a real tough one. So we kind of saw where we were with it at our first try, and then now we progress over the years. Okay. Big breath up, inhale. Exhale, dive into your fold. Breathe, let the head be heavy. Stepping or jumping back to plank position. Amazing. Holding our plank here for 10 breaths or so. Coming down to a kneeling plank if that feels a little bit better for you. Wherever you are, being able to breathe. We'll take a rest in child's pose for our wrists before our wide squat. We can turn our palms up. Looking up between our hands. So you might want to block handy for this next one for our wide malasana or our squat pose. So our right foot comes up, left foot comes up, and we're in a squat. So if your hips need a little love, you place a block underneath. You could have it this way or up a little bit higher. You could sit on another bolster. You could use 25 blocks if you want to. There's no, yeah. So we're slowly wanting our hips to relax and our backside slowly come down a little bit closer to the mat. Our toes are slightly out. And this is where we can be and where we can remain if that feels good for you. If you don't want to go into crow, I would suggest just flowing side to side with your twists. And that's slowly going to open up the sides of our body, slowly going to open up our hips. If you want to do our crow with the potential to go into our jump back, you can. So one of the things that you can do to progress into crow is just to squeeze your inner knees onto your arms. Just squeezing those on the backs of our arms. Or we can kind of round our back a little bit, come up onto our toes, look forward. This is where you would pick up a toe or not. Always looking forward at your bolster. And today, if you want to, I don't know if I can, Marla. No jump back for me. No. It might be a little bit easier if we do crane with the arms straighter. So if we think about bringing your elbows or your knees into your armpits for the next one. Straightening out your arms. Oh, no, me neither. Optimistic about next week. Yeah. Oh, almost. You just did. You just jump back. Jump back. So you did this. I don't know if I can do it twice, Marla. I don't know if I can do it. That's all. Oh my God. Okay. How you doing at home, Mary? All right, give our wrists a little break. Even just step one foot back and then the other in that curl. Or take a little break for your wrists. Oh no. It's yes, right? Let's progress towards that. Make sure we warm up those wrists again. So those are our big three poses, how we've wanted to practice today. So let's go back to our regular programming. We'll take it back up to downward dog. Looking up between the hands, let's bring that right foot up between the hands. Take the left heel down, sweep that left arm up until we come to our warrior two, our opening up from our chest to the windows. Our right hand facing forward, your right knee bending. Breathe. Reaching and stretching our wrists out. Check in with our breath. Let's try to breathe in our right nostril and breathe out our left. Breathe in our left. Breathe out our right. Moving into triangle, straightening out your right leg, hinging down, maybe grabbing that block underneath your front hand. Our left arm open to the sky. Let's all try our bind hand again. So just turning the palm back, reaching with the thumb down the back, opening up the chest. Breathe. Looking at our front foot. Moving into balancing half moon, taking the weight onto the front foot, lifting up the back foot. Breathe, feel, listen. Strengthening our ankle and honoring our body wherever it may be today on your journey. Forward fold, take your time. Let the head be heavy. Stepping or jumping back to your plank pose. Holding our plank or moving through a flow. Whatever works for you. Making our way back to down dog for that sequence on the other side. Bringing the left foot up between the hands. Right heel goes down. We'll sweep that right arm all the way up. Our left arm forward. Breathe. Relax your shoulders. Reaching through our fingertips. What's up in that chance today? Take a moment to check in with the jaw, with the breath again. Just noticing how you're breathing. Breathing deeply, stretching our lungs, increasing our lung capacity. Straightening out our front leg, reaching down into our triangle pose, maybe putting a block underneath it at first. Whatever works for you in the moment. Quieting the mind. Focusing today on progression, feeling the optimism flowing through our bodies. Moving from here or staying in triangle into balancing half moon, the weight comes onto the front foot. Lift the back. Breathe. Feel, listen to all of the amazing sensations that are happening right now in your body. That feeling of just being alive, being here. Forward folding, exhale. Let the head be heavy. Oh, feels amazing. Let's step or jump back again to your plank. Breathe. Come down onto our forearms, into our forearm plank. Let's clasp our hands together. Tuck our bottom pinky under so we can stay here or come down to the knees for puppy pose. We walk the knees a little bit closer or we move into dolphin. Walking the toes up towards the elbows. Come right up onto our toes or lift a foot or two. Pressing into your elbows, your forearms. And walking those feet back. Breathe. Let's take the knees down, the belly down. Come right down, take a little rest. Walking here. For our backs. So we come right down to our bellies now. Create a little triangle with our hands. We'll rest our face there if that feels okay for us. We'll be moving up into locust pose with an option for clasping your hands behind you to kind of stretch your wrists out a little bit. So you can start with that clasp Or you do have the straps nearby. Straps are really helpful for this one. You could grab your straps and then rise up instead of the clasp. Breathe. Our kneecaps off the mat if possible, but they're still facing the floor, as is our gaze. So we lengthen through our neck. Breathe. We'll release it down. Take that strap off, but not too far because we're going to use that for a hamstring stretch in a minute. Resting our backs again. Taking the hands under the armpit to the shoulders, pushing up and back to child's pose. Think about a little tuck of that pelvis under slightly to create a little bit of more space across your back. So you're really trying to reach, want to tuck it under towards your heels. If it doesn't quite want to get to your heels, or if your feet don't want to quite get the tops of them down onto the mat, that's okay. Progression, optimism, breathe. There we go. All right, we're going to go right onto our backs. Inhale forward, shift onto our hips. Bring the feet around. Make sure you've got your strap nearby. So you could either use it like this, or you could tie a, put a little loop in the bottom. So either a loop or no loop. Let's put it on your left foot. Sorry. On our left foot, we'll roll back, make sure we've got some space back there. So it's on your left foot. And it's in our left hand. Our right knee is bent, and either the foot is down on the mat, or we're extending that leg long down the length of our mat. We can use our right hand to anchor our right hip. So it's just on the front of our body. Turning our toes towards our forehead. Walk your hand as close to your foot as you want to. And we'll slowly let this knee go out to the side, about 6 inches. So not all the way, just a little bit. So it's somewhat lining up with our ear. Breathe. If you do have a block nearby, you might want it to be on that left side of your body to put your knee on. We'll slowly bring our knee open to wherever it feels nice. Perhaps putting a block underneath the knee. Anchoring still our opposite hip. Amazing. Bending that knee, we'll bring it back up and then extend it again. Once we get back to the center, switch the strap to the other hand, opening up your left hand like a wing. It's kind of an anchor down into the mat, and we can draw that leg now across the body in the other direction, holding onto our strap, maybe putting a block underneath the knee on that side. Reaching our hand towards our toes, turning our toes maybe a little bit up towards the top of our mat. Bending our knee, bringing it back. We'll take a rock side to side with knees into chest. Switch our strap over to the other foot when you're ready. And then the left foot goes onto the mat. Our right foot extends, or That leg could be flat on the mat or it can be bent. We've got our left hand anchoring our left hip for the moment. And then we allow that foot to slowly move out. We'll stop about 6 inches. Stretch there. We give a little more resistance. And slowly letting that leg move all the way out and open. Maybe putting a block underneath that leg, thigh, the knee, anywhere that feels nice. Being mindful, of course, that we don't want to hyperextend our knee. There's still a little tiny micro bend in that knee. Find the stillness. We'll bend that knee, bring it back to center. Switch hands with our strap, extend the leg again, and draw it over to the other side. You might roll right onto the outside of that hip. Put your block underneath your knee. You're there, about 10 or 15 breaths. Let's drop both of those knees into our chest now. Taking our strap off, slowly rocking from side to side. Time for our Shavasana. Take your time to get settled in. Close your eyes. Just put the block or the bolster that you had underneath your knees or your back. An overall softening of the body. Checking in if there's any last little bits of tension that might still remain in the body. Any thoughts that are still clinging around that aren't serving you in a good way. Let them go. Our practice today has been about optimism. A great attitude becomes a great day. A great day becomes a great month, which becomes a great year, which becomes a great life. Softening, breathing. Take a moment to get comfortable and to begin to focus on the natural rhythm of your breathing. Inhale slowly and smoothly, allowing the breath to travel deeply into the low belly. Pause and exhale slowly and smoothly, releasing the breath from the body through your nostrils or through your mouth. Whatever feels best for you. Take a moment to make any last-minute adjustments here so that your body can remain as comfortable and as still as possible throughout this practice. Feel the breath flowing in and out, softening your face, your jaw, your eyes, your throat. Relaxing our shoulders and let your entire body feel relaxed and heavy, weighted and secure and safe. Slowly coming back to the sound of my voice. Continue to breathe and let any distracting thoughts float away from you. Feel gratitude today. That's what this meditation is about. Gratitude for your family and your friends, for their love and support, however it is given. Feel gratitude for the community that surrounds you and supports you. Everyone from your grocer to your hairstylist, your dentist and doctor, your neighbors, co-workers, teachers, and the person who serves you your favorite treats. Let your heart expand to include your family, friends, and community. Gently breathe in, and as you exhale, allow your hips to soften, to relax. You can rock them back and forth from side to side if that feels right today. Feel gratitude for your creative mind, for your dreams, desires, and the passions that inspire you to feel deeply. Inhale, feeling your belly expand. Exhale, letting your belly relax and soften towards your spine. Feel gratitude for the food now that nourishes you and makes you strong. Feel gratitude for your sense of self that defines who you are and allows you to serve the world in your own special way. Soften your ribs, your back, and the area around your heart. Feel your heart expand as you feel gratitude for the beauty of nature all around you, for the trees, plants, and flowers, for the creatures that share our beautiful world. Relax your shoulders, soften your arms, from your shoulders all the way down to your fingertips. Swallow and relax your jaw, your mouth, your tongue, and your cheeks. Feel gratitude for the gift of communication and all the ways you express yourself and share your story with the world. Soften your eyes, forehead. Allow the forehead to feel smooth and free and clear. Feel gratitude for your intuition, that little voice inside that guides you on the right path. Feel gratitude for all the times you have listened and tuned into this wisdom from within. Soften the top of your head and sense the connection around you through your breath. Feel connected to those around you and to something larger than yourself. Feel gratitude for the connection that makes you whole, complete. Feel a deep sense of peace and contentment surrounding you. Take a few gentle breaths in and out. When you are ready, opening your eyes, feeling gratitude again for all that surrounds you. We'll make some small movements to our hands and our feet, our fingers and our toes. waking up our head, we can move our head side to side, letting our neck know it's time to get moving. Rolling over onto one side in your own time, no rush. Take your time getting there. When you're there, take another breath in. Grateful for the breath. Making our way up into an easy seated position. Big breath up. Just take a few of these big cleansing breaths in, full of optimism for our day, for our week, for everything that surrounds us. One more. A little humble bow down if that feels good for you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your Monday and your week. Hopefully I see you again next week online or in person or wherever we are in this world. Have a good day. Bye, Mary. Bye, Mary. Everybody says bye.